Hello, I'm Dawn Chapman and I'm the Director of Initial Teacher Training here at Exeter Consortium. You can see from this webpage that we offer information events using Zoom on a regular basis, which you'd be very welcome to attend. But we appreciate that our evening events might not fit with your schedule. So this video is hopefully going to answer any questions that you might have. But equally, please do get in touch, pick up the phone, drop us an email, or you might be able to visit us in our office if you've got any specific questions that I don't cover in this video. Let me start though by telling you a little bit about us and who we partner with. So Exeter Consortium actually started as a teaching school alliance. So that was a group of schools and school leaders who worked together to run courses for teachers and to support each other in their development. And that grew and grew into the not-for-profit organisation. We're actually a charity that we are today. And now we partner with over 120 schools across the Southwest. And it was at their request that we started delivering the teacher training programmes that we offer now. So they wanted more involvement in the direction of how trainees were learning to teach so that they were getting the ECTs that were prepared for their school contexts. So what we offer is a school-centred route into teaching, a school-centred initial teacher training route, or a SCITT, and we work all the way across Devon and beyond. Our main base is at Counterswith Primary School, where we have our office and the training rooms for our students. But we've also got hubs at East the Water Primary in North Devon and Marine Academy Primary in Plymouth. So our trainees who live more locally to those areas will have most of their taught sessions in their hub, saving everybody a lot of driving across our beautiful but quite large county. So our partner schools don't just provide placements for us, they also help us design and deliver our curriculum, making sure that we're preparing our trainees really well for their schools. And we also work closely with the TEDRAG Teacher Training Partnership, which is our accredited provider who awards our trainees their QTS. Over the past 7 years, we've been developing programmes with them that reflect the latest research in education, as well as the visions and the values of our school. And we also partner with the University of Exeter, which is an outstanding initial teacher training provider, to validate the PGC element of our programme. So that means our trainees enjoy the hands-on, school-centred support of a SCITT route, while also gaining the academic rigour of a Russell Group university. The PGCE includes 2 written assignments. Most of that learning is done through online modules, and we give them study days at home, and the university obviously provides them with their tutors. But trainees can, if they want to, also make use of Exeter's beautiful university campus and the facilities there. So some of you watching this might not be at the point where you know you want to apply to teaching, and that's absolutely fine. But if you are ready to start your application for next September, this just lists the courses that we offer and the course codes. All of our primary courses let you teach across the full primary age range, but your placement structure and also some of your taught sessions will obviously vary depending on the route that you choose. So some of our trainees choose a 3 to 7 route and they experience a placement then in EYFS or a reception class, as well as a placement in Key Stage 1. Trainees on the 5 to 11 route have placements in both Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2, and trainees on the SEND pathway also benefit from a placement in a SEND school alongside their mainstream placement. And finally, you'll notice that we have different course codes for our 3 hubs. So wherever you train, your experience will be localised and contextualised for your community. So if you are getting your application ready, we do really want to help you. You'll use the DFE portal apply to submit your teacher training application. And if you've got any questions about that, and maybe your references, you're not quite sure who to pick, or you're not quite sure how to approach your personal statement, we are really happy to help. Just pick up the phone, drop us an email, and we can talk you through the next steps. You might want to ask as well if you can chat with a current trainee to hear firsthand what training is really like before you apply. We're very happy to facilitate that for you. Or if you want to spend some time in a school, perhaps you haven't had a lot of prior experience in schools, Our schools are incredibly generous at opening their doors to let people come and experience what it's like for teachers and for trainees in school. Just let us know. And that would be really useful experience if you haven't had it already before you write your personal statement, because you can draw on some of that when you're writing your application. One of the things that we really value about the way that we work is that it's not just about spending lots of time in school with a school-based mentor, it's that much of the training that we deliver is led by the school leaders and specialists from our partner schools. They help shape what our trainees learn, and when they learn it, they've helped us sequence our programme, so their training is up to date. And by the time that our trainees are applying for jobs, they'll have learned exactly what head teachers want them to know. And that's why our early career teachers are in real demand and we have a really high employability rate. Also, by the time our trainees qualify, they'll have met lots of leaders and teachers from across the partnership. That really helps them understand the type of school they want to teach in, which is important. It helps them build a strong network of support and become part of a wider teaching family across the Southwest. We do think it's really important that trainees learn from people who are walking the walk right now, teachers who are back in the classroom the next day, experiencing teaching as it is today. And I was a primary school teacher for over 20 years, but I haven't been in the classroom now for about 7 years. And I think it's important that my trainees learn from people who are current practitioners. Okay, this is our very colourful course calendar, and I'm going to use it to talk you through the structure of the training year. Anything marked green on this calendar is a day spent in school. And yes, you can see there's a lot of green, and that's because we are a school-centred route. We think that's important. Teaching is a really practical career, and the best way to learn is by being in the classroom. But you do need to have structured training alongside that. And one thing we know is that people can't absorb vast amounts of information and keep it in their head and learn it and really know it without applying it regularly, revisiting it and practicing it. So we have structured our training so it runs throughout the year, and trainees learn what they need to know at each point in the year, and then they go straight back into a school so they can apply it and really embed it. So let me start with these orange days. That's right at the beginning of our course, our induction days. So before the school term even starts, our trainees come to us at the end of the August break for their 3 induction days, and we bring the whole cohort together for that. The trainees really get to know me and my colleague Sarah, who also leads the programmes alongside me, and they get to know each other, building that support network. And we also cover obviously important things like safeguarding before we send them into schools. Then you'll see that the whole of that first week of term, they're in school. So they will usually benefit from some non-pupil days, training days that the school might have. That really helps them get to know their team, their mentor, the class teacher they're working with. And also they see the children being welcomed into the school by the class teacher. They see exactly what the class teacher does to settle the children, to set really high expectations and how to build relationships with them. And trainees say they find that really important. It makes them feel a part of that school team from the very beginning. And we feel it's really important. They learn how to settle their classes before they're actually doing it themselves the following September. After that, they are in school on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they come out to us for these beigey days that's when they have their general professional studies training with us. And they also have these purple days, which are the PGCE side of the course. So that first purple day is when the PGCE is launched, and then subsequent purple days are when they have study days at home, and they'll have their tutorials with their university tutor as well. So they follow a split week process for quite a few weeks, and then they do have some full weeks in school towards the end of the term. And that way, as I said, they can be taught important things by us in the training room, and then they go straight into school and they have a practice with their mentor and get that regular feedback. After the autumn term, they move in the spring term to their second school, and they move into their different key stage. And then they follow a very similar process where they're in school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, having training at the end of the week, and then some full weeks in school in the second half of the term. After the Easter break, they return back to their home school for the summer term. And the reason we do that is so that they end the year with the children they started with. Children make a phenomenal amount of progress in a year, and we think it's important that the trainees see that. I can remember as a newly qualified teacher myself a long, long time ago, feeling a little daunted at the beginning of the year when I assessed my children and I realised how much progress they needed to make by the end of the year. We think that our trainees going back and teaching the final placement with the children they started with really helps them to understand the progress that children make and also allows them to pick up the thread with those children and see the year out with the children they started with. We're really proud of our curriculum, which is really carefully planned with input from our school partners and with the TEDRAG Teacher Training Partnership and our university PGC provider. The programmes are built around a curated collection of key research touchstones, which is a focused selection of texts and ideas that our partners have identified as most important in schools. And each strand of our curriculum is centred on these touchstones, helping trainees understand the evidence base behind their study and their practice. We work really closely with the PGC partner, the University of Exeter, to make sure that the touchstones are still relevant, they're current, and they're complementary to the academic reading which the trainees undertake for the PGCE. And also, really importantly, we review these every year with our school leaders to make sure they stay up to date and that they continue to reflect the vision and values of our schools, which means that our training is both research informed, but it's also school focused. As a partner of the TEDRAG Teacher Training Partnership, previously known as SCITT or Southwest Teacher Training, we were the very first ITT provider to be inspected under the last ITT framework, and we were really proud of our good outcome. One aspect of our programmes that was noted by Ofsted is the high level of personalised support, and we think that's really important. We don't have a large cohort. Every year we have between 40 and 50 trainees, and we build really strong relationships with them, and we get to know them very well right from the start so that we can make sure we tailor the training to meet their needs. There's a range of ways that we support trainees. Some of them I've listed here for you. We also stay in contact with our early career teachers and our alumni so that we can continue to support them. And many of them actually who've been in our partner schools have become mentors for us or even have delivered some of our training alongside their teaching and leadership roles. You can read testimonials from previous trainees on our website, or if you prefer, as I said, we're really happy to put you in touch with a current or a former trainee. Many of our trainees found this really helpful when they were considering their next steps. So they're always happy to have a chat on the phone and answer any questions that you might have. And as I said earlier, we're really happy to help you arrange school experience if that would be useful for you to have a taste of teaching before you apply. And finally, we'd really love to hear from you. So all of our contact details are on our website. We're equally happy to have a chat on the phone or a Zoom call, or you can pop into any of our offices, whether that's in North Devon, Plymouth or Exeter, to meet us and have a chat through things. If you just want to explore a bit more first, you might also want to follow us on social media to get a feel for what we do and what life's like on our programmes. So whatever stage you're at, please don't hesitate to get in touch if we can help. And we wish you all the very best of luck in whatever you decide to do.